I feel like whenever you go into a race, you kind of don't really want to worry too much about the time, and you kind of want to like compete. But I've run this course a lot, so I kind of know what the times mean. And typically, like, weather's pretty consistent around in February in like Central Texas. So I knew it'd be good to have like a metric, and I thought if I was at all fit, I would be kind of close to the record.
Welcome back to Through Their Stride. I'm your host, Sam Sutton, and today we have a truly special guest, a 3-time Austin Marathon champion and one of the most compelling stories in American distance running. Joey Whelan grew up in Buffalo, New York, ran competitively at Syracuse, and then, like so many collegiate athletes, stepped away from the sport after injuries began to take their toll. But life had other plans. Joey found himself out in the Texas Hill Country, working hard labor for a rock milling company, and somewhere between the long days and the wide-open terrain, running found him again. He laced back up, fell in love with the 26.2-mile distance, and hasn't looked back since. From a runner-up finish in his debut at his hometown Buffalo Marathon to 3 Austin Marathon titles, 2 Olympic trials, and a personal best of 2:09:42. The resume speaks for itself. And just this year, he etched his name into Austin Marathon history with a new course record of 2:13:18. This is a story about rediscovering your passion, embracing the grind, and what it looks like to truly run through it. Joey Whelan, welcome to Through Their Stride. Welcome back to Through Their Stride, and my guest today is 2026 Austin Marathon champion and new course record holder, Joey Whelan. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
So the day, I mean, I ran that race as well and was nowhere close to your time. I got like 3:52:30. But I remember that day being windy, hilly, and hot. So tell me a little bit about the conditions. And I heard once that you call yourself like a bad weather, bad conditions runner. So tell me a little bit about how all that went down.
Yeah. Well, I'm typically not like the best like heat runner, but like for this build particularly, I have been, because I live in Western New York. I live right on Lake Ontario, just outside of Rochester, New York. And like this winter has been really tough in the Northeast, and we've got a ton of snow. So I was training on a treadmill, but like with positives that come with running on the treadmill is you are running inside. So like it's better than running when it's 0 degrees out. So maybe that did help me a little bit with running in the heat per se. But yeah, so I think that may have helped a little bit.
Yeah, did you turn up the heat a little bit whenever you run indoors, or did you just kind of go regular 70 something degrees?
Just regular. What was in the house, but
Okay.
I mean it's still like better than what was running outside. So
yeah, it was y'all experienced a crazy like winter storm, like kind of late in the winter. I remember. So that was crazy.
It was kind of, this winter has been really like, it's been weird because we got winter really soon. So like our first like snow on the ground, like shoveling, was early November. And like typically like November's like a pretty good month. So like we had snow because we were getting we were embracing the winter coming, and we had just got a house over the summer, and we're like, all right, one of the first things we need to get for the house is a treadmill. And we were going to put the treadmill in the basement of our house, and we have like a walkout to our basement that's like easy to like transfer like a treadmill through. So like I was like, all right, let's schedule the delivery for like early November. That way we could get the treadmill inside, no issues. And then like the first weekend of like November, there was like 6 inches of snow, and there was no way of transporting it through the backyard anymore. And we had to have them come down the main stairs of our basement, and it was just like, but then in January, early January, first 2 weeks in January, I would say like I was running outside on the trail. So
oh, wow.
So it was like we had winter, and then like when the second winter came, it just kind of stuck for a while. And now we're back into winter again. We have like 6 inches of snow. Had to run the treadmill yesterday. So
Dang.
eventually the winter will be over.
Eventually the sun will come out.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, cool. Let's talk a little bit about the Austin Marathon. So, you ran 2:13 and some change, and that's
Yeah.
a big course record. And when you came into this build, were you thinking course record? Were you thinking, man, I could do this, or was it or were you just thinking I'm fit enough to be top three, top five?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like whenever you go into a race, you kind of don't really want to worry too much about the time, and you kind of want to like compete. But I've run this course a lot, so I kind of know what the times mean. And typically, like weather's pretty consistent around in February in uh like Central Texas. So I knew it'd be good to have like a metric, and I thought if I was at all fit, I would be kind of close to the record based on other performances and how my year has been going. Uh yeah, just so I kind of knew that. And a big reason of like choose like yeah, picking Austin is to keep me accountable for this winter, because like like it is challenging to just be on a like I was on the treadmill for my whole build up, which is difficult. Like, I mean, I
Yeah,
got up to running 120 miles a week in my basement and doing like a 27-mile long run in my basement. And it's like, all right, it's like really challenging, but I'm like, at least if I have like something like winning the Austin Marathon, keeping my goals there, I had like, I'm doing this for Austin. So it's like, it always kept me accountable every day to just like show up, put the work in,
yeah,
get
yeah.
it done.
It's it is that's something interesting about what a race does is it keeps you
Yeah.
accountable, especially in bad weather times. W- like for me, it's the summertime right here in Texas when it's 100+ degree heat, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, but I want to keep my fitness. So I was like,
Yeah.
last year I scheduled a race in like late July because I was like in Utah, so it was nicer weather.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I get a race on the calendar, I won't not run because like I'll want to chase a goal, and it helped for sure. Like that thought of like, okay, I'm working towards
Yeah.
something, even though it's a treadmill in the local gym, like it's
Yeah.
still working towards something.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, yeah, you said this Austin Marathon, you've run it a couple of times.
Yeah.
What keeps you coming back to Austin, and what kind of took you there in the first place?
Um, I mean, I like that it's like a it's almost like a cross country course. It's a course where you don't really have to worry about time, and you just have to worry about like competing. And the fields are pretty good. So like in marathoning at like a higher level, it's hard to like win races, and it's always good to be in races that you can win, because like a lot of the marathon majors, like I have no shot of getting like on the podium essentially. So it's
Yeah.
like to come to races like Austin presents like an opportunity for me to actually compete for a win, as opposed to like trying to compete for like a top 10 at like a major. So I always like that. I like that it's a hard course, and one that I've always like done, which is cool. Like, cause like now I'm like a veteran in the sense of like I've run it so many times.
Yeah.
Uh, like that was like I think it was like my fourth or fifth time running it. So, and I've run it twice in practice. So it's like I have so much experience with the course that uh try to like use that as like my advantage,
Yeah.
like when I'm like trying to like game plan for how I want to like tackle the race, and really use it to like practice racing. Because
Hmm.
I feel like so many times it's just a marathon, you're almost practicing to survive. But it's like it's fun to like be like, all right, like before Austin, I was anticipating, I'm like, all right, at 30K I'm gonna make a hard move. And like I don't get to do that a lot of times at races. And it doesn't always it didn't even work out that way. So it didn't even matter that I even was anticipating doing that, but it was nice to be like at 30K, I'm going to make this hard move. But yeah, the race played out a little differently, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, but you said something interesting there. I mean, like you like well earlier you said you like hard courses and you like the challenge. Do you feel like a hard course where it, has a lot of hills and has maybe some headwinds that you can, that are you it can expect are
Mhm.
coming? Do you feel like that and the strategizing for that is a lot more fun than something
Yeah.
like a fast flat marathon?
Yeah. And like I do. I mean, I enjoy a flat, fast marathon too. Like
You're definitely, yeah,
I have two coming up, but I think it's good to have different options on your schedule that they're like not all the same. And like just picking out like the Austin course, like just knowing like beforehand, like when you get the weather. I mean, you follow the weather for a week before a race, but then like the night before, when you officially get like, all right, this is what the weather is going to be like, and like I look at the course map, I'm like sitting in my hotel room and I'm like, I am taking notes of like, all right, at like when we were heading north up going through the university, we will have a headwind and you are slightly going uphill. So just like be aware of that and like know what's going to be coming and like know when we're going to be going downhill late in the race, that wind's going to be at our back. But then also knowing temperatures are going to be slightly rising. So like don't get too carried away, but like just kind of knowing all like the little things. And yeah, this just makes it like better because like those flat race, the flat ones where you're like time trialing in a sense, and you're just trying to hit one marker and you're just going like K by K or mile by mile. That's just like monotonous and it's like not as like fun to me.
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. When it's all for a time, sometimes it can kind of feel like, like you're there to do something and one thing only.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're going to a race where there's a lot of challenges and hills, it just kind of keeps your mind in
Yeah.
it the whole time. You're
Yeah.
like you're you're doing something instead of just
Yeah.
running straight for a time.
Yeah.
But and then you mentioned you've run this race several times before, and you you have a lot of course knowledge, and
Yeah.
this topic has been covered pretty frequently from other podcasters. But I wanted to ask you about it. There was a portion of the race, kind of close to the half marathon, where one of the racers that you were with went toward the half marathon and followed the
Yeah.
leader of the half marathon guy.
Yeah.
Um, and you tried to grab his attention. You're like, hey, like,
Yeah.
and um, do you feel like that course knowledge kind of does help you because you don't have to rely on like trucks that you're following or signs or anything? What's that course
Yeah,
knowledge
like
advantage?
yeah, just like me knowing the course and like kind like a lot of times when you get racing, you get kind of a little like you get a little lost in racing, and that's kind of what happened with those two other runners.
Yeah.
Um, one was a half marathon runner, and me and the other foreign athlete was were marathon runners, but the foreign athlete didn't recognize that he was wearing a different bib number, and when the half marathon guy like didn't make his turn, I like ran up to the half marathon guy to let him know that he needed to turn around and like finish the half marathon. I mean, we were
Yeah.
already at 12 and a half miles. I'm like, you're adding more on than you need. Uh, and then uh it was kind of like he didn't understand, like the marathon guy didn't understand what was going on, and when he saw the half marathon guy panic and turn around and start sprinting the other way, he followed him instead of me. uh and uh then I was like, I'm not gonna chase them both to like retell them like
Yeah, I
I
know.
did what I could in the
You
situation,
tried.
and
Yeah.
I tried, and it's on camera to show that I tried. So it was just like I wasn't like trying to like send him the wrong way or anything. Uh,
Yeah.
but then I knew like when we were going, then we had to make the turn, the left turn to go up towards the university when it's slight uphill, and we were going into the wind. I'm like, shoot, now I don't have that guy anymore. But then
Mhm.
my mind thinks, all right, like use this as an advantage. Uh,
Yeah.
we're gonna be going slightly uphill into the wind. He's gonna panic and try to catch back up to me when they tell him that he made the wrong turn,
Yeah.
and he's gonna burn a ton of energy. So I was like, let me put my foot on the gas a bit and try to get further ahead. And I got through halfway, and they told me my half marathon split, and then some guy yelled out like 22 seconds or something. So I knew I had like a metric of how far I was ahead at the halfway split, and how like so then going further into the race, I just kept telling myself, like, keep your ears out, like, listen for any data that you can throughout the race. Like, I knew I had a friend that was going to be at mile like 20 to 21, and he was going to tell me what distance was. Um, so yeah, I was just listening out, and then I just kept hearing people say it was further and further away. And it was just nice because then I got to mile 21 and then heard it was like 40 seconds. Got to mile like 23 and then it was a minute. And then I was able to like just chill and just kind of coast my way through and just kind of uh just wait for that last hill, that Congress Avenue hill.
Oh, it's a
It
brutal.
like doesn't yeah, it doesn't like I felt really, really good. Like I felt like I was chilling towards the end of that race. And then I hit that hill and I'm like, this is just brutal. It's like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter like if you feel good, if you're fit, it just doesn't matter. That hill is
Yeah.
always going to be brutal.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself on that course that it's a downhill after that. Like
Mhm.
you just gotta
Yeah.
like keep it in your mind. It is a downhill, but it is so freaking brutal. Like you make that left turn and you're like, you're just going straight up.
Yeah. Because I
Um,
also the like 2 days before the race, I ran the last few miles of the course like backwards and forwards again,
yeah,
just to kind of remind myself because I thought maybe it was the race was going to come down to maybe the last few miles. So
yeah,
I wanted like because when you're going on East Chavez Boulevard, it's a long stretch, and for a course that was doing all that turning, it feels like you never turn down Waller. It's like you're like waiting for Waller the whole time. So I was like looking at like there was like a sports bar called like Buckets. I'm like, all right, like there's Buckets Sports Bar, like and like just keeping like things in my mind to be like, this is like a marker, like when you go onto 6th Street, this is how long you have, and that's slightly downhill. And like there's like taking like really analyzing the last bit of the course. And like you said, on top of Congress, after you get that hill, you have it's a good downhill
it
to the
is. Yeah, it's one you can sprint. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. I mean, as much sprinting as you can do at the end of a marathon.
exactly.
Yeah. What do you?
It's fun. That of it, yeah. I love yeah. Austin's fun.
Yeah. What do you
That
think? Which hill do you think is harder, Enfield or Congress?
I mean, Congress always just feels so hard, but that
Yeah.
mile 12 is hard too. Like
Yeah.
because it's it's like pretty early. Like obviously it's not even halfway yet, and you're hitting this monster hill, and you're like you face it for a decent bit. Like with Congress Hill, you turn and then see the hill,
Yeah.
and
You
then
just
you're like, all right, this is gonna be a bad minute.
yeah, and you just like
But like this,
do it, you're done.
you're like waiting to get punched in the face.
Yeah. I think it was easier. I think Enfield was easier for me this year because I had a bathroom break right at Enfield. And so like I had like a
Yeah,
little bit of a mini break.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
like
this, you're also like the way the course is, the sun's in your eyes going up it.
it is. Yeah.
So like that makes it also a little tricky.
Yeah.
And like I do think about that too. And like I feel like a lot of times like the foreigners like ignorance is bliss. Like they just don't even I don't know if they even look at how much they look at the course and like I'm like overanalyze it till I'm like dead. And like that like I don't think these guys even like don't even look at a course map before they go. They're just gonna run hard with whoever's leading. They don't care if it's a half marathon guy or whatever. They're just like whoever's in leading this race, I'm just gonna run with them until
Mm.
the race is done, and the last few miles I'll kick it in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
On this course on Austin, do you have any favorite scenes that you kind of look out for? Is there any like favorite parts of the course that you're like you think are beautiful or fun or anything?
I mean, I do like ripping down the hill, but it's so early at
Yeah.
like mile like 5 or 6. Going back to like I do like when you're um where is it? You're like on Second Ave or whatever, and
Yeah.
you make that turn, you enter the city, and like there's all the crowds back when you enter the city, and you make that left.
Yes.
That part's always fun. But I also don't like I like the parts when you run through the little neighborhoods on like
Same.
the east side where like I don't mind when it's quiet and you could kind of be in your own element.
Yeah. My wife used to live in East Austin before I met her, and I've been down there a lot just to see her old stomping grounds. And
Yeah.
so every time we go through East Austin and we go through like Austin Bouldering Project and everything,
Yeah.
like that, it's fun to see all those places because it's like, I'm like, oh, I've been here so many times, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It's also fun to see like I feel like because Austin's such a growing city, so like it's always changing a bit. So like
yeah.
you're seeing like new things. You're like, this wasn't here before, like just
No,
like new buildings and stuff. So
yeah, I gotta say, so there's this one, and I wanted to ask you about this. So thank you for bringing it up. In 2018, you ran the Austin Marathon,
yeah,
um, and at that time, there's this building in downtown, right next to Town Lake, that almost looks like a staircase, um,
yeah.
and it wasn't there in 2018.
Yeah.
And so it's
I
just
think
funny
it's like
thing.
the Line Hotel, maybe.
Yeah,
Is that it? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They
and
built
I'm
it.
like. Yeah, I think it's funny because there's tons of buildings over there that just
Mhm.
weren't there, and like you've gotten to see like the construction of Austin
Yeah,
like over the years in this race.
yeah.
Yeah. So talking about the race too and the training. So training for a hilly race but versus training for like a race like I'm trying to think of a fast race that you've done over the years, but training for both of those. Oh, California International.
Yeah.
Between those two, what is the difference in training? What are some things that you change to get that advantage on hills?
So like when I'm typically able to, like I have like designed routes for like Cal International, for instance, is a net downhill. So, but it does have like nice rolling hills to it. So I was planning routes, based on doing workouts where it's net downhill, but it has like rollers in it. Uh, for courses like when I was training for Austin, I was in the beginning of the training, I was doing a lot of playing with the incline a lot. Uh and I think it was more so of like maybe boredom too. Like I would mess with the incline on all my easy runs to like see how much feet I could climb. So like 11-mile run, I would try to get like 1,000 feet, which is a lot.
Yeah,
Uh
for sure.
and then just but I was only doing that on easy days. There was a few times where I did do like threshold work where it was like uphill intervals, like 10-minute intervals uphill. But then I got to a point where I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I think it may benefit me more to like just run flat and just try to run fast. Well, I like, because I will have to be running those paces because the Austin course it has a like a decent amount of downhill, and I can't get the treadmill to go downhill. And the closest thing to downhill is flat, so I'm like, I hope this works. But
Yeah,
I was doing my easy runs, based on my easy runs I would throw in the hills, and then my like long run workouts and just long workouts. I was just going flat and fast and just like because that at least made it fun for me too to like go run. It's like just fun to run fast. Like when you're doing intervals uphill, you're just getting nowhere, like on the treadmill, and you're just it was kind of getting me a little like mentally. I'm like, I don't like. like I know I'm getting stronger, but I don't really see the results. Whereas
Yeah.
like when I'm on the like when you're running just flat on the treadmill, I'm able to just see actually like, oh, I can't go faster than 12 and a half miles an hour. Like that means I'm pretty fit.
Yeah.
If I'm doing
Yeah.
tempo runs at 4:48 pace, I'm pretty fit.
Hmm.
But like I don't know what that translates to when I'm like, well, I'm at a 3% grade and I could run 5:30 or something. And I'm like, yeah, type it into all these calculators and I'm like, I'm just wasting energy. Just, yeah, I'm just going to just stay flat. So I didn't run as many hills as I would have typically in previous like Austin marathon builds. Um,
Yeah.
but like my first Austin marathon I did in 2018, that was like a lot of uh a lot of my long runs were based on the hills, and I was able to like living just outside of San Antonio. I went to the course twice and ran the course twice in full,
Yeah.
and like that really helped me. I felt, uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
San Antonio is a good place to get some hills in, to get some
yeah,
elevation. Because that's like squarely in the hill country pretty much.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
lived in like Spring Branch,
Okay, yeah. I
so
live in Fredericksburg, so I'm not too far away.
and then I was doing a lot of work in like Texas hill country. It's like Concan and Lakey and like Comfort, Bernie, like all those areas. I was there during the week and then pretty much like San Antonio or Austin during the weekends.
Perfect. That's perfect training.
Yeah. But it was
Cool.
funny because yeah, I would just when I was first marathoning and just not knowing really how to train for a marathon, uh, I would go out to it was like Spring Branch Road out like where I lived, and out and back on that road was like I think it was like 1,300 feet elevation for 20 miles.
Oh
But
wow.
so you got quite a bit, and every week I tried to just do like my training was just like try to run under 6 minute pace for
Yeah.
this route, and like I would try and I would fail so many times, uh just because the nature like the course is hard. So I'd always run like low 6 minutes, or like I'd put bottles out by people's mailboxes, and then people would take them,
No.
and then I'd be like I'll be like, I should have left a sign or something. Like they thought I was like littering or something, but I was just like I was like hiding it behind so it wouldn't be in the sun.
Yeah.
And then like every week I was just trying to break 2 hours, and and like that training actually worked, and that's kind of like the backbone of like kind of like what my training is with doing like hard long runs.
Yeah. Quick question. Do you still set out water bottles for long runs, or do you carry water with you, or how does that kind of work out for you?
I do a little bit of both. Now I have set up like I have like a little like that TV table,
Yeah.
those little TV tables. I like put I have a workout loop that's like 3.5 miles that's like by my house. Uh but I so I'll set that table up sometimes and just run by it, and then I set up like a little garbage bin like
Yeah.
uh a little over a quarter mile past or maybe a little further. So like I'll drink out of my bottle like I will during a race and then chuck it in that. But there has been times where because I will use like just like a Gatorade bottle, like Gatorades, like the little mini ones, and just like
Yeah.
crack it open a little bit. Um and I have put like a ton out on there, and like where I lived, like there's a lot of people like walking around, and like the one day like two of the bottles went like missing. I'm assuming like they thought I was just leaving it out for like runners or something.
Yeah.
And like this, so they just like ended up taking it. And I'm like, oh man, I was looking forward to those. I don't think, yeah, I think they're, yeah, thought I was being nice. But I remember that in San Antonio, there was a couple of routes in San Antonio that I did where people in their front lawns, there was like a popular running route by McAllister Park where
Uh-huh.
people leave coolers out by their mailbox for
No way.
runners who are running by. It's like because it's like they did the long runs at the same spot like every week. So it's like you go through that part and you could always have like a nice cold Gatorade and they'd replenish it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But like I have put the TV table with my drinks
Hmm.
uh in front of my house before, and I'm just like running by, my neighbors all think I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
Partially because I am, but
I mean, all of us runners are weirdos, but uh,
yeah.
I remember Kira D'Amato a couple of years back would post like these stories on her Instagram of like the stories of like bottles and leaving out bottles, and
Yeah.
people would take a bottle and they'd be like she'd be like, all right, start putting out signs like please don't touch, marathoner in training. And like
Yeah.
that's actually what my wife saw at first, and she was like, oh, this is a good idea, we should start doing that for your
Yeah.
like for your bottles. And so we would write in like Sharpie, do not touch for a runner, and then
Yeah.
like it would be there. So
Yeah, I
uh
did that on my TV table. I did write marathon training
yeah.
um on it, but I didn't like laminate it, and like the weather's bad. So like it was like raining and it just all like bled like away, that like looked really bad. So like had like the poster board I only used like once or twice because it
Yeah.
all like, went away. But like one of the worst times I've had, one of the top 5 worst runs I've ever had was in like San Antonio. I would do I was working at I was making like a parking lot at UTSA. Um in I lived in Spring Branch, which is like 30 minutes north of the city. So I would do my runs at, because I would get off work at 5 p.m. So I would run at 5 p.m. to let traffic die down to like get back home, because otherwise it's going to take me over an hour to go a normal half-hour route. So I would run in like the heat. But like I
Oh,
kind of used that as like my training thing too.
yeah.
And one of the bike paths there, you know where like the water fountains are along the path. And I was doing like a workout, and I knew where the water fountain was, and when I went to it, the water fountain was off. And
Oh.
I was like, oh no. I was like, I know there's another one. And I went to the other one that was like further down, but I knew it was be like adding more onto my run.
Hmm.
That one was out too. And then I'm like, I have to just turn around and like I didn't have like my card or like anything to like pay for like a drink or anything to get off. And like now I'll run with my phone. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I'm in like a different spot. Like I'll run with a card and like, or like $5 in my pocket at least to like have like
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I was like running my way back, and like I started to get cold, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh no, like I'm in trouble because it's like 105 degrees. I'm on this bike path, and like there was like a biker like coming by, and I saw that he had the 2 water bottles,
Oh
and like
yeah.
I like nudged him, and I'm like, hey, do you mind if I have like a bottle? And I like signaled this, and then he shook his head no, and
Oh.
I was like, it was the most demoralizing thing, and like, because I thought for sure he'd be like, if you saw me, you would have just given me anything, and then I like ran back, and it took me like forever because I was like stumbling. I got back to my truck, uh, and like I sit down in my truck, and I it's a push start, so I push it to like to start, but uh, I'm like trying to like shift it, and I'm like my truck's not shifting, and I realized that like I didn't put my foot on the brake.
Oh, that's
My mind was just so fried, and
just delirious.
I'm just like I had to like get out of I had to like get out of my truck and be like, you need to like take a second to like breathe and just like
Yeah.
get through this. And then yeah, it was like a top 5 Gatorade I've ever had at like the gas station.
This I think this is genuinely why the smartphone companies started to put like Apple Pay and like Google Pay on their
Yeah.
phones, so people
This,
can just like run into a gas station and like swipe it. So they,
yeah.
specifically for runners to do that.
Yeah, I should have just asked like I like somebody else would have said just yes to me. Like
Yeah.
but like after I got denied once, I was like mentally I was like if I get denied again, I'm just going to like die.
I'm gonna lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like after you ask that dumb question in class, and you're like, I'm not gonna ask any more questions.
Yeah. So, curious, do you prefer the brutal cold weather of New York running or the brutally hot summer in Texas running?
I would rather, for like training purposes, have it be hot
Okay. Yeah.
because I think like you get a lot more adaptation to it than it being cold. With it being cold, it's like icy and sometimes just like unrunnable.
Right.
And like I just can't stand it when it's like the wind chill is like negative 20s and you're just getting nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, but like if I were to say like I don't know, like 20s are good. Like I would like it to be like if it'd be nice if it was just like I could tolerate it being in the 20s and I could tolerate it being in the 90s. It's just like when it's in like the hundreds
Yeah.
or like single digits, that's when it's
Yeah.
like
The ones.
on yeah.
Yeah. That's when it gets like, this is just unbearable
Yeah.
on either end of the spectrum.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, cool. So tell me a little bit about your marathoning and how you got started. So you ran for Syracuse, and
Yep.
then you moved out to Texas. I think I read you were working for a rock milling company here in the Hill Country.
Yep.
And how did you find marathoning through all that?
So yeah, it's just funny because like I was working for like my cousin's company. We were going on ranches and making ranch roads. Uh and then at like the end of the shift, I took some time off after like competitive running after college. Um I was just like kind of getting a ton of injuries and stuff and didn't really want to do it like anymore competitively and then when I started working again, uh, there was like physical labor involved with the work that I was doing. Like I would oversee a lot of like the laborers. So like they'd be like running chainsaws, but uh I never like to be the person to be like, hey, go do this. Like I'll do that with you. So like we work as a team and like I'll run chainsaw with them. And like that was like, a lot of hard work because we'd do 10-hour days like, running a chainsaw and it was better for me to lead uh while doing it so I know like when we should take breaks and like do everything involved with that. And at the end of a lot of those shifts, I would like do like conditioning, I would call it, where I would do like a cool down where I would like put on my trainers, take off my work boots and like just go out for like a short run and
Oh,
then do like push-ups and stuff the just so it wouldn't be so hard like in the following weeks like
yeah,
depending on what the project was. And then I just noticed like I started getting pretty fit and I also didn't know like a ton of people like in the like San Antonio area like coming from New York. So I'm like, well maybe I'll sign up for some races and because there's a ton of like good races in like San Antonio, Austin. I was like, I could sign up for some races. Like, it's hard to make friends when you're in your late 20s for some reason, especially like yeah, especially like yeah, it's just hard. It's just hard to make friends like when like you think it's like easy like when you're in college on a team.
yeah.
Like when I was in college on a team, like we had like 20 guys and 20 girls, and we got 6 new friends a year. Every year. It's like I never had to learn to make friends, and then you do that for 6 years, and then all of a sudden you're out in the real world, and you're like, all right,
Yeah, it's crazy like with making friends and like with like you said with college. I feel like college is this unique like community that some people get to experience where you're all on kind of the same trajectory and you're all
yeah,
kind of doing the same things even if you're not like the same like you may be a freshman whereas someone else is a junior, but you guys are all doing the same things and it's so easy to mingle with like so many friends. Whereas when you get into the real world, it's like the people at work don't want to talk to you because they got their own lives. And then like,
yeah,
you know,
like I just worked with them for 10 hours. Like I don't want to really hang out with you much afterwards. I mean, we would still like go to like a dive bar or whatever after work, but I mean it was just like, all right, I kind of want to like see different people.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
it was much easier to like meet people at like races and like running communities. I'm like, these are kind of like my people and already. So like then I just started diving into that. And at the time I was 26 years old. And I had never run a marathon before, and I thought 26 years old, 26.2 miles. Let's run a marathon to like
26,
say
26.
yeah, to say that you ran a marathon. So I signed up for my like hometown one. I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I'm like it'll be good. Uh like training's pretty good coming out of the winter. Like Buffalo Marathon is Memorial Day weekend, so like
Oh,
when it starts to get hot, like pretty much like when that race is like 50 degrees, it's going to feel really cold coming from Texas. So I did that, and it was like that aha moment of like, I'm like, oh, I actually feel like really good at like mile 20. I'm like, it felt much different than any other races I've like ever were in college, where
oh,
I'm like,
good at mile 20.
yeah, I felt good at mile 20, and I'm like, I think like this is like my event. Like I kept like, yeah, I was picking it up a bit, and I'm like, and ended up, getting second place. And I'm like, all right, like I think I'm gonna be pretty good at this. Uh, then I was like, I want to sign up for another one, but I want to do it in Texas. And like that's when I did Austin Marathon. And that was my second marathon that I did. And like that's when I'm like, all right, like this one I'm gonna actually train for a bit. And that's when I was doing like, let's try to like run a hilly route, and let's try to run 20 miles under 6 minute pace. And then I just do that every week. And then I went to the Austin Marathon, and I ended up winning.
Yeah.
And I'm just
That's
like, all right. And then I caught the bug, and it's been just off to the races since.
getting second place in your debut and
Yeah.
thinking that you feel great at 20 miles. That
Yeah.
does that tells you like, all right, this is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mile 20. I don't think mile 20 at a race has ever felt good for me, but
Yeah.
little jealous over here.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
cool.
we've all had days where we felt good or felt bad. And uh yeah,
Yeah,
just I felt like that first race I did, I'm like, everyone's telling you how scary the distance is. And I was like, my first 10K was pretty conservative. And I'm like, all right, like, I feel like I had like a nice warm up into this.
yeah, cool. Well, for you, so have you always been kind of like have had a competitive mindset? Like, have you always been athletic? What's your athletic background look like going back to when
So,
you were a child?
yeah, so I like played baseball. I did like wrestling. Yeah, just all sorts of just like backyard sports. Like I had an older brother that was 2 years older than me, and I feel like that like helps mold you. Like when you're playing like 'cause we played like a lot of like hide and seek and tag, and you're wanting to be with your big brother and their friends because they're cool. They're the cool guys, and trying to get to their level.
Yeah.
Just growing up like that, and just always like we were always like beating the crap out of each other. Like we were getting stitches all the time, like just fighting and just like getting like random like uh we were going to the hospital so much that the doctors had to like pull us aside and ask if we were getting hit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was yeah, I got pretty bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
it makes you a better it makes you a better marathon later.
Yeah. The the pain of a bleeding eye or a,
Yeah, like my
ditch
like
that you
my like because I've fallen like hitting my head with so many things that like I have so many scars on my head. When I get like my haircut, barber was like, "What happened here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I slipped, and that was a door hinge."
Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's way worse than the pain of a marathon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, and what is your brother still in athletics? Is he still competing in
So
sport?
like right, so he's in like a band,
Oh,
but
cool.
he started to he's like a runner now. He's actually running his first marathon at the Buffalo Marathon this year, which is like cool that like he's grown to like the sport like a little bit later in life. Like he didn't run in like high school or college or anything.
Yeah.
So he kind of picked it up later, like most of your friends now that
Yeah.
like I don't know if how long you've been running for, but
Yeah.
like I find it like a lot of my friends that I never thought would run are like now like doing marathons
Yeah.
or like
It's
run
pretty
clubs and
it's
stuff.
yeah. I had a friend back in 2024 who like I had met him at a run club and he had never run before. He was did some athletics as a kid, but he had never run and he couldn't even make it through 3 miles. And now he's out here like running 130 plus, like
That's
135, 137 and a half and like
yeah,
crushing it. And I'm like,
yeah,
the running bug is
yeah.
contagious these days.
Yeah. It's like one of my buddies in high school, he didn't run or anything. And this is also like somewhat part of the reason why I did my first marathon was he was living in Pittsburgh and he like texted me and he's like, I'm running a marathon and I'm running one before you. And I was like, Kyle's running a marathon before me. And I'm like, I gotta just run one. Just I'm like, I can't believe that.
What was Kyle's time?
uh I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I think around 4 hours ish.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm
he's
not
got
sure.
nothing
But yeah, he's got that on me. He's run a marathon before me, and you can't take
Yeah,
that away. So he
for
rubs that
sure.
in. He rubs that in when I see him sometimes. So
Awesome. Well, cool. So now going, I mean, you've run like ever since then, your marathon journey has taken off. You're if I read it right, you're a two-time Olympic trials qualifier.
yep.
Um and you're a 209 marathoner, which you got in last year. Where did you get 209 again?
Cal International. So back in
Cal.
December. Yeah.
All right, cool. Dang, that's pretty close. December to February. That's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of rest.
Yeah. I did rest the like the week after like Cal, and then
Yeah.
like then when I started building up, I'm like I don't have much time and I have to do it all on the treadmill. So like I did get my mileage up to 120 and then
Oh
was
my
able
God.
to like arc it down, but it was kind of it did seem a little like maybe a little aggressive, but I was trying to like be a little relaxed with it, but it
Yeah.
all worked out. So
Man who never sleeps over here.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, and like, you know, two Olympic trials. I'm sure you're going for the trials again in for 2028. What has the process of becoming an elite marathoner looked like, and what are your goals going forward with this sport?
Yeah, it's a lot more like a lot more committed to it and like more so like putting in the work. Um like in prior years, like I had like a big breakthrough this year. Um but like the prior years I was kind of like stuck at like a certain point. Um because I wasn't really putting in the necessary work to make that breakthrough. Like I was expecting to run certain times while running like if I'm going to throw like numbers at it, like if I'm trying to run, I was running between like 50 to like 80 miles a week expecting
Mm-hmm.
to try to run under 210. It's like it's like that's a tall order and like
Yeah.
I'm not that talented to be able to do that. And like now that I've been able to like put in the necessary work, recover, like getting my mileage like consistently over 100 has been really big for me uh to like make those breakthroughs and like having the like a level playing field with some of like the top guys in the country because I did go full time with running this year as
Oh,
kind of like
nice.
as kind of a project to see how it would all go, and so far it's been working and I just got to like stay committed to it. But like the goals itself are like I want to really climb up the like leaderboard of all time US.
Mm-hmm.
Um So like there's it's all on like record eligible courses. So like courses like Cal International or Boston don't count towards those. So I'm trying to run on certified courses this coming year. So I'm
Uh-huh.
going to Hamburg, Germany. It's a flat paced race. And then I'm doing Chicago in the fall, flat paced race to try to like work up that ladder of all time. Cause I think if I run under 209, I'm in the top 20.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the goal. I know like the times are all going to get faster and they'll eventually get broken, but what's all said and done, I want to say at least at one point in my career that I was like a top 20 marathoner ever in the US. And
Yeah.
like I really want to try to make like the Beijing world team for 27. Uh
Oh, cool.
like there's the marathon team, which is they select three people based off world athletic points. So figuring out what races I need to do that would score me the highest points uh, necessary, which a lot of times it'll come down to running fast and like getting like the bonus points for like championships, like US marathon champs, for instance, they give you bonus points if you're in the top three.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to
Oh, wow.
plan my schedule out towards that.
Cool.
I want to wear the USA vest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I
you're
want. Yeah,
I
I
think you're
wore.
more than capable.
Yeah, I wore it once in high school. I made a U.S. junior team in the steeplechase, but that was back in 2009. So like, I think it'd be pretty cool to make it like X amount of years later.
Yeah, definitely. And so is Olympics also on your kind of mind, or what do you think
Yeah,
about that?
it's a little like I need to bridge the gap a little bit more, but it's uh just stacking a lot of these races and uh trying to like climb up a little bit higher
Yeah.
because like right now it's a little out of reach, but um I'm just like callousing my body now to embrace that first pack and learning how to uh like learning how to race. So it's like going to races like Austin and just learning how to compete. Because I mean, when I raced Austin, there was three guys in the race that had better PRs than me. There was a guy that ran 207. There was a guy that ran 209. And there was a guy that ran 210, and they're all on the same team. But like, if you beat these guys enough, you'll end up running those times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Well, and I mean, you're thinking about like comparison of times too, like with the Austin Marathon and how hilly it is, how hot it is often, and you're able to beat them. I mean, I don't know what that's equivalent to, but I feel like a
yeah,
209 is
yeah,
definitely reasonable.
yeah. You just got to just keep showing up and trying it time after time, and uh, just capitalize on every opportunity.
Yeah. Now, talking about that and talking about the expectations of that, whether it's put on by media, external factors, or by yourself, how do you kind of deal with that? Is that kind of a mental pressure that you feel, and how do you overcome that if so?
Uh, Not really. I mean, it's all kind of this stuff has all been new to me, like going on podcasts. But um, I feel like it's good to set your goals and like say what you want to do. It's like I was on I think it was Life and Stride podcast like after I ran Indianapolis and I ran 212 at Indy and they had me on as a guest and they said like the episode number at the end of the episode. They're like episode number 209 and I said that's a sign. And then a month
Oh,
yeah, and
and
then
you did
like
it.
then I did it and but it seems like that was my goal like internally and I'm never like I don't like to be the one to like talk like just say it all the time and like say my goals out loud, but I feel like the more if I say it out loud the more it will hold me accountable to
Yeah,
keep chasing it.
yeah. I read couple of days ago. It's it's kind of about like proving yourself right. And so
Yeah,
like if you can speak it into existence, and
Yeah.
continuously tell yourself, like, I will run a sub 209 marathon. I will make a US team. I will, like that
Mhm.
your brain will start to tell your body that you can, and you can take that in. Whereas if you say, I'm not sure about the time, I don't know, like your mind will
Yeah.
compartmentalize that.
Yeah. It's like this. Yeah. It's just the whole mental side of it all.
Yeah.
It's just like that's why like doing every race and putting yourself through all these situations. It's like I like relate it a lot to like like how comedians do things. Like comedians are constantly running their hour special on the road, but they're always like tweaking what they're saying. And in the beginning of the year, when or like however long it takes them to make their special, that that hour may not be good, but like by the time they travel to every city and like do all this, they eventually tweak it and they have it really fine tuned, and they put themselves in all these situations. And that's kind of how I see myself doing things, like drawing that parallel of like, all right, I'm gonna do a ton of, like, I run 20 races a year. Not a lot of people do that, but I just see it as like working on my craft. And then
Well,
yeah.
yeah, and especially now that you're full time, like you have the ability to do that
Okay.
and push yourself because you get to rest a lot more, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. The sleep has increased a lot. So I feel like that was a pretty big difference. That people always say it too. They're like, you need to get the sleep. And it's just like people are still working on like 5 hours of sleep. Like I don't even know how like my wife's incredible. Like she works so hard and she'll work out in the morning and she'll work out in the afternoon, but she gets like 5 hours of sleep. I'm like, geez, like now I'm getting like like 9, 10 hours of sleep, and I'm like getting double her sleep, and she's doing like almost just as much as me. And I'm like, man, some days I feel like a buff.
That's funny. But I mean, like, no offense to your wife, you getting the more sleep, like, is going to
Yeah,
help you in the long run, but
yeah,
she probably
for
has a
sure.
job and everything too.
Yeah, yeah. The sleep. I couldn't believe how much how much it plays into like recovery and everything. Like how much
Yeah.
like better you could feel, and how much more I'm able to like take on
Yeah.
like every
It's
day.
it's like when you're doing 5 to 5.5 hours and you start to kind of get used to it, you like don't even really think about the toll that it's taking
Mhm.
on your body because it's just what you get. And then like once you start getting the 7, 8, 9+ hours, you're like, oh, like
Yeah,
this is incredible. I'm springy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I can actually like show up for stuff
yeah,
outside of just running.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, talk to me a little bit about running. So for you, what is running for you mentally, and like what does it give you outside of just the numbers and outside of performance?
Yeah, I mean, at first, if it was just like the escape of like when I was like when I was at work, it was like that release of like taking off the work boots, going mentally through my day of like what's next, um, and kind of like that cool down effect and like a break from like my coworkers, I think, that I was like staying with. Now it's a little different, but like I definitely feel like more like free like when I'm running. Uh it's just a lot more like it just feels like more relaxed. Like I don't have to like rush to get it. Like when you're in that routine of like when you're working, you have to wake up at a certain time every day and you have to get it in like in the morning, and you have like these like minutes that you like it's going to shorten your run if you only get out the door at like 6:05, or you're only going to get so much amount of daylight. Like I don't have those like negative effects. So it all just feels a lot more laid back now.
Yeah.
And like I feel like in the long run, like there's not a lot of stress involved with it, and it's fun. Like it's a privilege to be able to like do these races, and like uh like I love racing because it also shows like all the work that you put in, and it's
Yeah.
like it like at the end of it it just justifies everything that you've done.
Yeah. That's awesome. And now that you're like full-time running, it sounds like you probably have more time for Buffalo Bills games. I see the Buffalo
Yes.
Bill
Yeah.
logo in the background. So
Yeah.
you're a huge fan?
Yeah. Yeah. We're both big fans.
Yeah.
The games take more out of me uh than a lot of marathons do. I would say that, yeah. But they're
Well,
fun. It's yeah, it's fun to follow them and like we're a fan of the Buffalo Sabres hockey team now, and like like they were in, I think the playoff route for them has been like 15, like it's been a while, like years since they made the playoffs, and they'll make the playoffs this year. And like
mhm.
with the Bills at the time, they were in like a 17-year playoff drought, and like that was
Childhood.
all of my whole childhood. Like I was born a loser. Like we lost every Super Bowl when I was born. Like from when I was 1 to 4, we lost
Yep.
every Super Bowl. So it's like there's something to be said that like how like all of our friends were like we were all raised by Buffalo Bills fan parents, and like that had to live through that. And like they say like everything you do as a kid impacts you like later in life. So I felt like that, like me and all my friends were all forged from like losing, and like we have like these callous brains that probably help us in the long run in life.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my success in life and in running is due to being a Dallas Cowboys fan then, because
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in 1995, and 1995 was the last year they've won the Super Bowl. And
Yeah.
so like literally in my whole lifetime they hadn't won a Super Bowl. So it's been pretty rough, but here's hoping.
Yeah.
Are you one of those Buffalo Bill fans who would come to the stadium and shovel snow for the team if they
Uh,
asked?
I am not.
Yeah.
We live a little too far away now to do that, but yeah, I'm not. I probably would be more inclined, uh, to do it if we lived a little closer, or if it worked out. This
Uh-huh.
year I've done so much shoveling. Like we're first time homeowners, and like I have to do all those little things because we used to live like in an apartment. And like at first I'm like, oh sweet, like because I have a snowblower and shovel and stuff. And at first it's like I'm like fun, like I get to do this. Like you think you only have to do it like once a week. It's like I was having to do it like twice a day, every day. I was like, part of my routine was like running on like shovel in the driveway, running on the treadmill, shovel in the driveway, running on the
Yeah.
treadmill, shovel the driveway. I was like, this is like so
Uh,
mundane, but that strength helps.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's your cross training right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to take too much more of your time. We've already been over an hour here, but
Oh wow.
what yeah, I know it's gone by fast. So, but what does 2026 look like for you as far as races? You told me that you wanted to race the a few marathons later in the year, but tell me kind of a list of what you got going on.
So the next two races that I'm doing are well my target races are Hamburg Marathon in Germany. That's going to be like a paced race. That's April 26th. And then I'm doing Chicago Marathon in the fall, and that's also a paced race. So I kind of scheduled both as like, let's see, like I really want to run fast in Hamburg, but I really want to practice like running in a pack of people, like trying to stay on that, like you're just playing a long game of hangman, and just like doing that approach. That way I could like mentally, when I go into Chicago, I could mentally do that same thing again and hopefully go a little faster in Chicago. Um so yeah, those are the two. And then after Chicago, because I'm doing a double build for that, where I'm gonna go do CIM again, which is like 7 or 8 weeks later.
Mhm.
And yeah, gonna try to win a U.S. championship.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's
you
yeah,
got it, man.
yeah. So like yeah, they host the Cal International hosts U.S. Marathon Championships. So I really want to compete and definitely podium, but be running towards a win.
Awesome.
And then for Chicago and Hamburg is trying to run that certified course to get me on that leaderboard.
Cool. Well, good deal. I mean, I think you're going to do it. I think if Austin Marathon proves anything, it proves you've got the fitness and like to get those races under your belt. If the weather is a lot better, I think it's going to be. I mean, you got no problems.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll definitely keep following along your journey. And yeah, I'm excited to see how 2026 goes and beyond. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
That's it for today's episode of Through Their Stride. A huge thank you to Joey Whelan for taking the time to sit down and share his story. From the hill country to the Olympic trials, it's been a ride worth hearing about. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please take a moment to leave a rating or review wherever you listen and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an episode. Until next time, I'm Sam Sutton. Keep moving forward.